NFL jerseys can be boring. So a man by the name of Ted Hyman came up with a solution and made 32 custom NFL jerseys. Today we're going to be ranking all those. At number 32 is the Cowboys, and these colors are just looking super mismatched. They're looking more back and forth than Ezekiel Elliott's tenure here. The Cowboys don't even need a blackout uniform because they already black out every time they play the Packers and 49ers anyway. This is uglier than Dak Prescott's playing without star receivers. Get it together, man. At number 31 and number 30 are the Commanders and Colts because you straight up didn't make uniforms for them. I can understand forgetting about the existence of these teams, but I thought you might have done some research and stumbled upon them maybe in like a record book from 1983. On the contrary, I wish you would have forgot about the Cowboys too, because that monstrosity was worse than even Cowboys fans deserved, and that's saying a lot. At number 29 is the Lions. All white does not look great on the Lions, and they don't even play in the snow where this uniform would work well. It's unnecessary, and it doesn't look especially good, so I have to leave it here. Number 28 is the Saints. You really brought them in here with the skid mark brown color scheme. This almost reminds me of that one baby colored and peanut butter meme from 2014. The Saints are the last team that need an all-white uniform. Number 27 is the Bears. What's with the whiteout uniforms, man? They all end up looking like the Colts away uniforms, and no, that's not a compliment. The Bears have a great logo and a good color scheme, so I was hoping for a little more with this design. Number 26 is the Cardinals. The helmet looks like it's straight out of the UFL, and it doesn't fit really well with the Cardinals design too much. I already made fun of that helmet on one of my videos, so I won't go into depth there, but when put on a jersey that incorporates black stripes into the color scheme, it works even less. Number 25 is the Giants. I respected the red jerseys on this one, but what's going on with these helmets? Did they run out of blue ink halfway through the design process and revert to red? This helmet really screams, I'm going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. Like, how do you trade away your best player that's carried you for the last 3 seasons? And how are you going to pay your terrible quarterback $200 million when the backup is literally better and he played college ball at Illinois? Number 24 is the Bengals, and let's not start including gray into the Bengals color scheme. It does not look good. Simple as that. Number 23 is the Steelers, and similarly, I don't like the gray in the Steelers uniforms. Though it's not as bad as the Bengals, it doesn't make for very exciting jerseys and instead looks like some high school level travel team. Number 22 is the Raiders, and there's too much going on in this design with the camo, and it has nothing to do with the Raiders' identity, so I'm not a huge fan of the idea. Maybe add in some misdemeanor charge graphics so it fits the team's identity a little more. Number 21 is the Jaguars. I'm not opposed to a blue helmet for the Jaguars, but a shiny blue helmet on a matte blue jersey is not the way to go about it. In fact, no helmet should ever be that shiny in football. Number 20 is the Bills. The blue Bills helmet isn't the worst design I've ever seen, just pretty close to it. I prefer the helmets they have now over these, though I feel like a blue helmet could look really cool on their away jerseys. The jersey itself looks pretty nice though. Number 19 is the Chiefs. I've never thought about what a blackout Chiefs jersey would look like, and I really wish this guy hadn't either. I really like the shoulder design, but the black color just makes it look like a McDonald's movie villain or something. Number 18 is the 49ers. I feel like a 49ers blackout uniform could look cool, but this definitely does not capture the potential. The jersey needs a lot of work, especially in the shoulder design, although I will admit I do really like this helmet. Number 17 is the Vikings. I had some high expectations for the Vikings because of how deep into the Viking personage one can go, so I was a little disappointed to find out it was just a blackout uniform. I don't really like the look of the helmet, but the rest of it looks decent, I guess. Number 16 is the Seahawks. I'll give this guy credit for including the old school blue into this jersey in a way that's not as ugly as their color rush uniforms, but I still prefer the Seahawks' current look over this. Number 15 is the Broncos, and finally a blackout uniform that's acceptable. However, it's still super unnecessary, and I would rather see some mountainous design to reflect the state's geography. Number 14 is the Chargers, and I find this one funny because not only did the Chargers steal the Rams' new stadium and new city, but now they're stealing their helmet design too? This design is right on the verge of good and bad, and it's tough to decide whether I like it or not. It's oddly reflective of their team now that I think of it. Number 13 is the Browns. I like the brown, orange, brown colors of this design actually, and the logo change from nothing to something was also well implemented. Maybe if the Browns switched to this design, their luck with football might also switch up. Number 12 is the Panthers, and the Panthers' current uniforms look worse than their record last year, and a black and blue uniform would be a huge step up for their design team that likely consists of real estate agents from 2003. Number 11 is the Falcons. The uniform in its entirety looks good. It's pretty similar to their current uniforms, but it's still decent. It would be kind of unnecessary to chop off the bird's wings and try to imitate the Eagles. Then again, it was also kind of unnecessary to get a new QB when they just signed a veteran one to try and imitate the Packers' drafting technique, but who am I to point fingers? Number 10 is the Ravens, and there is a lot going on, but I do like the look of the gold B. I think the jersey needs some more work done, however, before I can move this uniform up any higher on this list. I'd say a good place to start would be to switching the numbers to a more modern font. Number 9 is the Buccaneers, and there's not too much going on here other than the incorporation of the orange from their old jerseys, but I kind of like it. It'd be interesting to see this idea on their home uniforms, but it does look pretty good on their away uniforms. Number 8 is the Rams, and I'm like 90% sure this design is only this high because it uses their old colors on their new uniform designs. I really think this is way better than their current colors that look like an SPF 70 sunscreen bottle, and I think this would look pretty cool in game. Number 7 is the Dolphins. Now I could take or leave the fade on the jersey, but I do like the look of the orange numbers on the blue. Not sure why this guy decided to straight up off the dolphin on the helmet, but you know what, the blue and orange helmet looks pretty good nevertheless. Number 6 is the Eagles, and I've always had a love-hate relationship with the Eagles Kelly Green alternates, but putting it on black is the best idea anyone has ever had with this style. This blackout uniform finally works because it's a light color on a dark color rather than a forced mix of a team's colors with black. Number 5 is the Packers. A white Packers helmet only makes sense with how much snow they play in every year, and this design proves that it's a good idea to implement. Maybe the camo in the snow would even help the Packers to capitalize on their home field advantage in the playoffs for once. Number 4 is the Patriots. The Patriots have been in dire need of a helmet change, and the 9-inch eyelashes somehow blend in to make for a good red helmet. The red version of their current jerseys also looks really good with this design down to the gray in the numbers, and I'm sure a blue one wouldn't look too bad with this helmet either. Now into the top 3. Number 3 is the Jets. Now this is a redesign made how it is supposed to be. Take a trash team with trash uniforms and balance their color scheme so that it looks good and not like a place where quarterback draft busts go after college. Maybe if the Jets manager stopped messing around and switched to these uniforms, they would make the postseason before the turn of the century after all. Number 2 is the Texans. The Texans have a great logo and color scheme, so it's sad to see the potential of the uniforms go to such a waste with what they have now. On this new one, I really like the horn on the helmet and on the shoulder pads, and I like the stripe that goes down the sides of the pants. The Texans have found their guy in CJ Stroud, and this uniform would be sure to cement its place with the success that this team is bound to find. And number 1 is the Titans. Derrick Henry could probably pull off any one of these uniforms, but this one looks especially clean. I'd say the team in this photo has a 50% higher chance of making the Super Bowl just because of how scary they now look to other teams. If I pull up to a game and the other team has flames coming off their helmet, I'm just going to call it there because ain't no way we're losing by less than 40. And that is all my rankings of Ted Hyman's custom NFL jerseys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It would help me out so much more than you think. And if you disagreed with all my picks here, tell me down in the comments below. I am 100% sure that you guys don't agree, so have at it. And in the off chance that you wanted to watch some other videos like this, be sure to click on some of these videos that are up on your screen now.